Right now at 10, behind bars, La Crosse police arrest a teen they say drove by an elementary school holding a gun.
And a Jackson County man asks for release roughly 10 years after being committed for killing his father.
Plus, the life of an absentee ballot. We found out where your early vote goes before it's counted on Election Day.
You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 10.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 10. I'm Amy DuPont.
And I'm Ken Kozarowski. A teenager is in jail tonight charged with terroristic threats causing panic.
Just before noon on Tuesday, staff at La Crosse's Northside Elementary School called police to report a person wearing a mask driving by the school waving a gun. Officers tracked down the car and arrested 19-year-old Carter Ratty. Ratty said he had an airsoft gun.
Ratty says he was going to pick up friends but made a wrong turn and drove past the school twice. He said he left the airsoft gun at the friend's house, assuming police would be looking for him. He also said he understood how it could be alarming.
The teen is also charged with bail jumping, disorderly conduct, and violating his probation. Tonight, he's being held behind bars on $5,000 cash bond. The Jackson County man institutionalized after killing his father wants to be released. 29-year-old Lars Helgeson pled not guilty by reason of mental disease or defect to the 2013 fatal shooting of his father Brian and was committed to Mendota Mental Health Institute.
In September of this year, Helgeson filed for conditional release. The doctor who examined Helgeson's medical records and who interviewed him via Zoom for 1 hour told the court he believes it is safe to release Helgeson.
It was my opinion to a reasonable agreement with certainty that Mr. Helgeson would not pose a substantial risk of harm to himself, others, or property damage if afforded conditional release.
The judge did not rule on Helgeson's release. The prosecutor still wants a police investigator and a witness to take the stand, and the court has not yet set a date for their testimony.
Well, what a beautiful Wednesday across the region. In fact, record warmth for some, including here in La Crosse with that high of 76. 75 in Eau Claire tied a record high. And look at that, 77 degrees for highs in Black River Falls, Winona, and down in Boscobel as well. Again, that 76 degrees here in La Crosse, barely breaking the old record of 75 set way back in 1938. So it was close, but we were successful today. If you wanted to see that record fall, hey, if we're going to be this warm, we might as well break a record, right? We've got some high and mid-level clouds scooting through tonight, nothing falling from these clouds, and temperatures are quite mild still, between about 60 and 65 degrees for many, even a 66 in Winona, slightly cooler over at Volkfield, 59 degrees there. So with the passing clouds at times, it will be quite mild tonight. Lows only dipping to 56 in La Crosse. That is warmer than our average high this time of year. Still a bit breezy as well with those south winds. Schoolcast for tomorrow, increasing clouds and windy, but one more warm day with highs in the upper 60s to lower 70s, right around 72 in La Crosse. Now our attention turns to much needed rainfall heading into Friday. I'll have the details on that coming up.
Thank you, Bill.
Well, the November election is less than a week away, and the final Marquette Law School poll finds the candidates for Wisconsin senator and governor are neck and neck.
According to that poll released today, 50% of registered voters support incumbent Republican Senator Ron Johnson and 48% support Democratic challenger Mandela Barnes. Now, since the last poll released in October, Johnson's lead is down by 2%.
The governor's race is a toss-up. Democratic incumbent Governor Tony Evers polls at 48%, the exact same as Republican challenger Tim Michels. And for the candidates, every vote is significant, including those who vote early. There's a great deal of trust that goes into handing over your absentee ballot.
Investigative reporter Naomi Cole shows us how a chain of custody keeps your vote secure. I'm voting.
Oh, okay. Have a seat.
It's called early voting, but more technically,
See your ballot.
I'm early in-person absentee voting.
As soon as I leave, you start voting by touching the green dot.
And that's not a tabulating machine.
They don't remember anything.
This voting rarely needs lines and cuts out the hassle of waiting for your ballot to come and mailing it back.
What is today's date?
11/01/22.
Thank you.
It took me 5 minutes at most. But then what? Because my ballot won't be counted right away.
There's multiple stages in which we're verifying the witness. Sign, the voter is signed, the witness address is there.
So we do lots of double checks.
When the day ends, election workers get started.
There's a double check.
They're counting ballots and registration forms, filling out this chain of custody document, and making sure there's no mistakes in signatures and addresses. Then It's into this red bag for safekeeping.
Goldenrod form that I put in
The
there.
only way that you can open it is by breaking that seal off there. And then so we ensure that that is documented, the seal number.
From there, the red bag makes its trip. In this case, it's by foot, just across the street to the clerk's central office. In other cases, it's on wheels from more than 30 voting locations around the city.
And yeah, we don't keep any ballots at a voting location overnight. It all comes back to our office not long after voting is over.
Then all that work happens again. Clerks count, sort, check the seal, fill out the chain of custody form. Then it's headed into the vault, which we can't show you.
There's locks on the door that only clerk staff have access to it, even though it's in city Madison property, that no other agencies have access to that room other than the clerk's office. And there's video cameras that are filming the areas around that room.
It's going 24/7, of course. Now, nothing gets counted before Election Day.
So after being in the storage vault, those ballots do make their final trip to your polling place on Election Day, where your clerk feeds your ballot into the tabulating machine, and then it gets added in with everybody else's.
There we go. Nice little behind-the-scenes peek. Well, the big three-state railway project is reaching the final design stages. The Departments of Transportation in Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Illinois, along with Amtrak, are working on adding another round-trip rail service. And the service will run from the Twin Cities through La Crosse into Chicago, with other stops along the way. Construction is set to begin next year on improvements like adding another rail line so passenger and freight trains can pass each other. Wisconsin rail officials say calls for better rail service are growing.
I think the passenger rail industry, we do see a lot of demand, especially with the younger generations. They're really looking for this type of transportation, and it provides alternate choice.
Construction is expected to end in 2024, but the second round-trip service might be added sooner. WisDOT is still taking public input. We'll have a link on news8000.com.
Heads up if you drive along La Crosse's north side beginning tomorrow. The stretch of Monitor Street from Avon Street to Lang Drive is going to be closed to through traffic. However, access to businesses will remain open. Workers are paving that part of Monitor Street. It's going to be closed through this Friday. There's going to be a detour posted at in the meantime.
Still ahead tonight at 10, TV stations all over the country have to air political ads even when they're inaccurate. A political expert explains why candidates use that to their advantage.
And later, an early Veterans Day gift. A Dane County Vietnam vet receives a new roof on his 150-year-old home.
Career politician Steve Doyle loves touting his record. Let's review it. When La Crosse County residents needed tax relief, Doyle voted no. When La Crosse County needed road repair funding, Doyle voted no. When La Crosse County parents wanted more support for schools and input on their kids' education, Doyle voted no. When La Crosse County needed violent criminals locked up, Doyle voted no. Steve Doyle's real record: rising costs, rising crime, abandoning us when we needed him most.
Welcome to the brand new Holiday Inn Express and Suites. Whether you're here for business, family events, or a weekend getaway, we've got you covered. Overtired, overworked? Lay down in one of our super comfy beds. Got kids? Our adjoining rooms are perfect for a restful night's sleep. Let the kids burn off energy in our kiddie pool while you relax in our hot tub. Come check in and check out our brand new Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Onalaska, La Crosse.
I was in law enforcement for over 40 years, and I can't imagine a better attorney general than Josh Kaul. He's a real prosecutor who's locked up murderers, serial rapists, the really dangerous guys you want off the street, and kept them behind bars. And he'll work with anyone, Republican or Democrat, to get it done. Look, there's more we have to do, but the only one I'd want leading the fight against crime is our Attorney General, Josh Kaul.
extremist, radical, bans, crime. You've definitely heard those words when you turn on your TV these days.
Political ads are everywhere, but how accurate are they? News 8 Now's Du Esrar spoke with an expert to find out.
When you turn on the TV, it's likely you've seen a political ad,
here's a fun fact,
or two, or 20.
Politicians have to be accountable for their own ads.
But under the Federal Communication Commission's rules, responsibility is a loose term.
Think crime is bad now? Mandela Barnes would make it worse.
They get away with it because they know they're going to get away with it.
Under the FCC's political programming rules and the Communications Act of 1934, broadcast stations are prohibited from censoring or rejecting political ads that are paid for and sponsored by legally qualified candidates, meaning political ads can go unchecked.
But it's Johnson's views that are alarming.
People believe him, unfortunately.
Political analyst Joe Heim says even if an ad is false, candidates have a difficult time pulling them off the air.
Problem is, it takes weeks, if not months, to investigate those kind of charges.
There are ways viewers can separate fact from fiction. Heim says the first step is watching out for key words.
Is that the kind of divisive radical you want as governor?
Mandela Barnes is a radical leftist.
Talking about somebody being a radical or extremist usually is an exaggeration.
Heim says voters should also watch out for candidates who make large promises.
I will pass term limits and ban congressmen from ever becoming lobbyists. I'm Derek Van Orden and I approve this message.
If I'm elected, I'm going to change the world. Oh, come on. You're one of 100 senators. You're one of 435 congressmen. You cannot change the world. You're not a dictator.
Although unfactual political ads can and will air, Heim says there has been some improvement.
Tony Evers is letting these murderers out. 232 murderers have been released. You've seen these ads. If you listen carefully, the latest ones will say, Tony Evers, a parole commission has released. That's an indication that they don't want to get caught in a direct lie saying Tony Evers does something.
Heim says while political ads may always have some falsehoods and extremes, most voters do their homework.
And an ad says something pretty outrageous, you better check to see if it's true.
Reporting in La Crosse, Du Esrar, News 8 Now.
Stations all across the state, including here at News 8 Now, have received cease and desist letters from more than one campaign.
Because of FCC rulings, no political ads at News 8 have been removed.
Still ahead, the Federal Reserve's latest effort to curb inflation.
And those grocery bills are staying high these days, but one item in the produce section is seeing some relief.
And I'm Chief Meteorologist Bill Grahl. Poor little puddle ducky hasn't had many puddles to stomp in lately, but is that about to change? I'll have the answer with my 8-day forecast up next.
Ladies, are you tired of the same old happy hour? How about buy one, get one free margaritas? Join us for fun and fiesta on Adelita Wednesdays, only at Senor Villa. Authentic Mexican food and flavor.
The Coulee region has been good to me and my family, and I wanted to give something back. That's why I ran for the state assembly. And I've tried to do good things in Madison for the people of western Wisconsin. Wisconsin is facing a lot of problems today, and we need people who understand how things work. Right now, Wisconsin has a $5 billion surplus. With that surplus, we need to cut taxes. We need to fix our roads, and we need to fund our schools, and we need to do that now.
I've practiced personal injury law for 4 years.
For 20 years.
For 32 years.
But I won't write your will.
I don't write contracts.
And I don't handle divorces.
The law profession is broad and complex. I focus my career on one thing.
Helping injured people.
All I do every day
is help injured people get the compensation that they deserve.
At Bygoff and Rohde, that's how we get results.
Dear Exit Strategy, all your pieces are in place. A tranquil lake, a serene sky, an emerald forest, a secret hideout. Thanks for being there just when I need you most. Always Toyota SUVs.
Get 3.49% APR for 48 months on a new Toyota Corolla, Camry, RAV4, Highlander, or Tacoma. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
As governor, I'll always try to do the right thing.
I've worked with both parties to find middle ground to improve and invest in our public schools, cut income taxes, and put our state on solid financial footing. But here's what I won't do. I won't cut public school funding. I won't stop trying to find good ideas from both parties. And I'll never allow radical politicians to make decisions about abortion. That should be left to women and their doctors. I'm Tony Evers, and I'm asking for your vote.
Make it a family dinner night every Sunday at Senior Villa, where kids eat free, one per adult, open to close. And it's a menu you know they'll love. Senior Villa, authentic Mexican food and flavor in La Crosse and Onalaska.
Visitors to our showrooms often say, I had no idea this place was so big with so many product displays. Stop by and wander through our 8 buildings. See what you would love to do for your next home improvement.
The Federal Reserve raised interest rates again today by another 0.75 percentage point.
That decision comes as inflation levels continue to plague the U.S. economy, pushing the cost of borrowing money up even further. Today, mortgage rates hit an almost 20-year high. Compared to last year, inflation has also pushed up the cost of groceries about 13%. However, one item is less expensive. Avocados are down almost 3%. A bumper crop of avocados from Mexico, Australia, and Peru are now flooding the market, and that should translate into plenty of guacamole for Super Bowl in February, the biggest day of consumption for avocados.
It might be a fun day for you as a Vikings fan.
Yeah.
An FCC commissioner says TikTok should be banned in the U.S. because of concerns about the company's handling of user data. There are fears the Chinese government could try to access the information TikTok has on U.S. users. The Committee on Foreign Investment has spent months negotiating a national security agreement to allow TikTok to continue operating stateside. TikTok has not commented on the commissioner's statements.
That's an app I don't have.
I know, we're in the clear. Although,
Yeah.
you know, with the weirdness going on with Twitter, I might need to make a switch on social media platforms.
Okay, I don't know. I feel like I'm too old for TikTok. I mean, my kids.
Oh.
No, you know what? I don't think my kids have it either.
Really? No?
Yeah. Are you a
Oh,
TikTok
gosh.
person, Bill?
I'm not on TikTok, but my
See?
kids
The
are
kids,
for
for
sure.
sure.
Yeah, yours are a little older than mine, so that makes sense.
Yep. All right, let's transition to weather. I'm going to step out of the way here because these are the high temperatures over the last 2 weeks. And look at this. Every single day was above average except for Tuesday the 25th and Wednesday the 26th. And not just above average, but well above average. Look at that. 17 degrees above average, 22 degrees, 21 degrees, 11 degrees above average. And then just recently, 10 degrees above average last Saturday, 7 degrees above average on Sunday, 13 degrees above average on Halloween, and 20 degrees above average yesterday. And we were even higher than that for today. But before we get to the almanac, nice little sunset to show you as some high clouds were streaming through. I always tell you, whenever this is the case, watch for some nice colors in the western sky or in the eastern sky during sunrise time, because that's when we get some great scenes when that sun is low with that high and mid-level cloud cover around. So 76 today, 23 degrees above average. That 53 for the low is 18 degrees above average. And again, we just beat that record high, 75 degrees set back in 1938. Want to point this out, 6.54 inches below average for the year. We may start to put at least a little dent in that come Friday and Saturday. 63 here at the station, 65 out at the airport with a partly cloudy sky. Winds out of the south at 10 and the Mississippi falling 4.89 feet. 65 for you folks in Eau Claire with a partly cloudy sky. South winds there at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. And look at these mild temperatures all the way up into southern Canada. 64 degrees right now in Duluth at 10 o'clock, almost 70 in Minneapolis. Now, there is a cold front right here, and that's going to be the change in our weather come Thursday night and into Friday. But in the meantime, temperatures still in the upper 50s to mid 60s. South winds at about 5 to 15, gusting around 20 in some spots. So just some high and mid-level clouds tonight. Nothing falling from these clouds. The cold front still well to the west. That's going to slowly move across the area. A couple areas of low pressure will track along it, and that's going to be the cause for our periods of rain on Friday and Saturday. Tonight, clear for the most part, just those high and mid-level clouds. Clouds increase tomorrow. Windy, but still one more warm day. Slight chance of showers tomorrow night, but then things really start to ramp up heading into about mid-morning Friday. Periods of rain, even some thunderstorms, especially to the south and east, and another surge of moisture into Saturday. And through Saturday evening, 1/2 inch to 1 inch plus near and north and west of La Crosse. Highest totals to the south and east, 1 to 2, maybe even locally 3 inches of rainfall. We'll have to pinpoint exactly where that heavier rain axis sets up, but right now it's looking just to the south and east of La Crosse, but stay tuned. Low 70s for highs in the La Crosse area tomorrow, upper 60s to low 70s. All across the viewing area. Slightly cooler to the north and west where you'll see the thicker cloud cover first, but still highs in the mid to upper 60s there is well above average. So for tonight, partly cloudy and mild, a little breezy yet, 56 for the low. Tomorrow, clouds increase, windy. One more mild day, 72 for the high. Dry during the day, chance of showers tomorrow night, and then periods of rain on Friday and Saturday. Some isolated thunder on Friday as well. Cooler by Saturday, highs on either side of 50. And then Sunday and Monday looking dry. Don't forget to set your clocks back as you head to bed Saturday night with the end of daylight saving time. Election day, slight chance of showers, highs in the upper 50s, even some 60s returning next Wednesday and Thursday.
Not bad for this time of year.
I know.
Thanks, Bill.
Okay.
Coming up next in sports, a Packers playmaker is trending in the right direction after sitting out last Sunday.
While the Bucs look to keep their perfect start to the season rolling.
News 8 Sports is brought to you by Mayo Clinic Health System. Whether you need routine care or treatment for a complex condition, Mayo Clinic Health System has convenient and safe options for the care you and your family need.
You've heard what women say about working at Tim Michaels' company, that they were groped.
A male superior groped the crotch and inner thigh of a female employee
and pressured to have sex with their bosses. And now we know more. According to an attorney involved in the case, when the only woman on a Michaels road crew was sexually harassed on the job, the company did not take it seriously. From the top down. From the top down. If that's how Tim Michaels runs his company, how do you think he'd run the state?
I'm Steve Doyle. Public safety has always been my priority. I've been endorsed by the Wisconsin Professional Police Association, the state's largest law enforcement organization. These are the men and women who put their lives on the line every day to keep us safe. They've had our backs, and I've had theirs. I don't just talk about public safety. I have a record of supporting our officers, cracking down on dangerous criminals, and fighting to keep our community safe. That's why I'm the candidate of law enforcement.
La Crosse Glass and Overhead Doors has been selling, servicing, and installing garage doors since 1964 and believe garage doors should be exceptional quality and craftsmanship. We guarantee to help you select a door to fit all of your needs. We offer a large stock inventory of CHI overhead doors, including residential, commercial, rolling steel, and high-speed doors. Visit our website and design the door of your dreams with CHI Door Visions. Get your free quote today.
The governor's basic responsibility is to keep us safe, strong, and thriving.
We all know that's not happening. Tim Michaels, a new direction for Wisconsin.
This election is about what a governor's gonna do. I'm gonna put more money in the pockets of the hardworking families of Wisconsin. We're gonna have safer communities, and we're gonna have better schools. That's what I'm gonna do as your governor.
I'm Tim Michaels. If you're ready for a new direction, hop in.
Tim Michaels for governor.
News 8 Now Sports is brought to you by Mayo Health System. Here's News 8 Now's Rob Schiff.
There's only one undefeated team left in the NBA, and tonight they were looking to keep it that way. The Bucks have come out red hot to start this season, a perfect 5-0 so far at home. Tonight they were back at Fiserv Forum looking for their 7th straight win to open the year. Let's head out to Milwaukee. Giannis and the Bucks looking for their 6th win at home, taking on Detroit for the 2nd time in 3 nights. Early in the first, Bucks down 1, but Drew Holiday goes baseline and lays it in. Then later in the quarter, it's Brook Lopez going to work in the paint, the spin, the contact counted, plus the foul. Strong move puts Milwaukee up 5. Then it's Giannis having his way. Watch out, putting the Pistons on a poster. Bucks go up 5 after 1. They kept pouring it on in the second. Giannis, the alley-oop to Lopez, 2 of his 11 on the night. Later in the second, Giannis looking for the baby hook right here in the lane. Doesn't get it to go, but Bobby Portis is there to clean it up. 10 points and 9 boards for Bobby off the bench. Then with time expiring in the first half, Holiday is going to drain the 3 at the buzzer. Milwaukee goes into the break up 9. How about the Bucks? 7-0 to start the season. They get the win tonight, 116-91. Well, the NFL trade deadline has come and gone, and after losing 4 straight and dropping to 3-5 on the season, if the Packers want to make a playoff push, they're going to have to do it with the guys they already have in the locker room. But some good news, though, for Green Bay. On the injury front Wednesday, for the first time since injuring his thumb back in Week 5 against the Giants, Aaron Rodgers was at practice on a Wednesday. For the past few weeks, Wednesday has been an off day for the QB, but Rodgers was suited up and participated in a limited capacity. Good news for Allen Lazard as well. The wideout missed Sunday against the Bills, but number 13 on the field today as well. Before practice, head coach Matt LaFleur was asked about the deadline. He says we can't keep talking about it. If these guys want to win, they have to be better in every way come Sunday.
If we focus on things that are irrelevant, what good are we doing? I mean, we got to focus on the task at hand, and that we need everybody in that locker room to be whatever their best is. And that's all I'll ask of anybody.
We haven't kind of had the 11 that we thought we were going to play with for extended time. So when we get those guys, I feel like, we got the team to get the job done.
Rodgers referring to David Bakhtiari and Elton Jenkins. We'll see if they can go this week, and we'll see if the Packers can turn things around, snap that 4-game skid in Detroit. Packers and Lions kickoff is at noon. So Green Bay staying pat, but the Vikings are surging, and they got even better this week. They've won 5 in a row, and now Minnesota adding former Lion TJ Hawkinson to the squad. So far this season, Hawkinson leads tight ends in yards per catch, over 15 yards per grab for the former Iowa Hawkeye. And on Wednesday, Hawkinson saying there's no place he'd rather be than Minnesota, and he's excited to finally get a chance to win.
That's really what we're here to do is go somewhere and win some games. And so, that's kind of the first time I've been able to say that. So I'm pretty excited. I really am.
Vikings will be looking to make it 6 straight this weekend in D.C. against the Commanders. Astros looking to even things up tonight in the World Series. They're almost there. Houston and Philly currently in the bottom of the 9th. Astros put up 5 runs in the 5th, combined no-hitter through 8 1/3, I believe. I'm trying to watch the game and talk to you guys at the same time. I think there's one out. I think Kyle Schwarber just got on first. Walk, so the no-hitter is still intact. The combined, I guess if you want to call it a perfect game.
Okay, here's the deal, though. We're not supposed to talk about it. You don't say those words.
But it's not our team.
But it's for the pitcher. You got to,
It's not the Brewers. It's not the Mets.
True.
They're out. They're done.
What about
Season's
the Twins?
over.
What did we talk about the Twins?
Oh, absolutely. We would jinx everything about the Twins. No problem at all.
You guys are evil. We'll be right back.
All right.
Tim Michaels wants to scare you with lies. Here's the truth. Independent fact checkers gave Michaels' parole attacks a pants-on-fire rating, saying they were false and that the governor does not allow any release of criminals. That's a fact. And here's another fact. Tony Evers actually increased police funding, and he's working to invest in high-crime areas, in job training, after-school programs, and mental health. So when you see all these, do this.
Breaking news in Dallas, Texas, where at least 5 police officers were killed when they were ambushed.
This was the deadliest day for U.S. law enforcement since 9/11.
Just days after this horrific crime, Mandela Barnes appeared on Vladimir Putin's propaganda news outlet and rationalized violence against American police officers.
Police officers are over-exercising their badges. This probably was a retaliatory attack.
Do you want Mandela Barnes representing you in the Senate?
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Are you looking for more in your next job? How about more pay with frequent wage increases? More advancement to promote from within? How about more time off? More benefits? More company incentives? And let's face it, more satisfaction. If you're looking for an employer who will offer you this and more, apply at Pilgrims in Arcadia today. www.pilgrims.com.
Under Tony Evers and Joe Biden, it's been bad, but it's gonna get much worse because winter is coming. That's right. Reports are saying natural gas heating bills are going up by 28%. Inflation has already caused pain at the pump, grocery checkout, on rent. But this fall, there's still time to stop the winter pain by voting no on Tony Evers before he makes it even worse, if that's possible.
His job was to serve and protect. Instead, reports say Dave Estenson assaulted and preyed on girls for years. One report of sexually assaulting a teenager. Multiple reports of Estenson trying to coerce girls into sexual favors to avoid citations. And Estenson wants to ban all abortions, forcing victims of rape and incest to carry their predator's child. Sexual predators belong behind bars, not in the state Senate.
A 150-year-old home in Dane County has a brand new roof thanks to a donation.
But crews didn't do it for the building. They did it to honor the man who lives inside. Pete Ponte is a Vietnam vet. He's lived in his Marshall home for 50 years.
Ponte's friends heard about a local company that was offering a free roof to a veteran, and they nominated him. Ponte found out a few weeks ago, and today crews showed up this morning to get started.
I wished we'd have a little more patriotism in our country with people like these Heinz contractors and Jordan Exteriors put all new windows in our VFW, didn't charge us anything for them. We need more people like that to appreciate us more. And I'm overwhelmed by everything that they are doing for us.
That's a heck of a gesture. He says he's humbled and honored by it. This is the third time that Heinz Contracting has given away a free roof to a veteran for Veterans Day.
Yeah, least we can do. Bangor students are taking time away from the classroom to help their community. Today, the middle and high schools took part in a community day of service.
Students volunteered all around the area, especially at senior living homes. Newsday Now visited the group of kids at Morrow Home in Sparta, where they spent much of the morning hanging up Christmas decorations. One student says that she learned lessons today that she'll carry for years.
I learned how to work with other people as a group and how to appreciate all the work that other people do for us without even thinking about it.
That's quite a lesson. Community Service Day was also an opportunity for middle and high schoolers who don't see each other that often to make some memories together.
I think it's so cool they went all the way to Sparta.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't even just stay in their community. So many kids helped out. They got to go outside of the Bangor village limits. Good for them.
Yeah, the extra
Very
mile.
Cool.
We'll
Just
be right
keep
back.
those Christmas lights off.
Thank you for watching News 8 Lacrosse. Here are tonight's winning Powerball numbers.
I see your hard work, everything you do to try to make it. But people continue to be left behind. I'm running for Senate to put more money in your pocket. Ron Johnson's had 12 years to make things better, but costs are still rising, and all he's managed to do is write a tax cut for himself. I believe better is possible. I believe hard work can pay off, and I'll never stop fighting until it does. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Wisconsin. Are we better off under Tony Evers? Our cost of living has skyrocketed. Evers has proposed painful tax increases and tried to raise the gas tax by 20%. Wisconsin is also less safe because Evers' parole board released hundreds of murderers and rapists early. Victims' families weren't even notified, and many of those criminals committed crimes again. Wisconsin. Tony Evers has failed. It's time for him to go.
Cooley Auto, La Crosse's only dealership specializing in southern rust-free vehicles, is now offering late-model, low-mile vehicles. Vehicles to fit every budget and lifestyle, including high-end premium vehicles. Choose Cooley Auto. Friendly salespeople, top-notch service, and good quality vehicles.
Cooley Auto, specializing in rust-free southern and
late model, low mileage premium vehicles.
See us on Rose Street in La Crosse. Call or visit cooleyauto.com today.
This is fentanyl, so dangerous that one pill kills. They make it in China, smuggle it through Mexico. Across our border that Joe Biden surrendered to cartels and gangs. Brad Pfaff backs Biden's open border agenda 100%. Fentanyl killed 1,200 people last year in Wisconsin alone. Now every town is a border town. Pfaff won't stop the drugs, so we have to stop Brad Pfaff.
I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
Career politician Steve Doyle loves touting his record. Let's review it. When La Crosse County residents needed tax relief, Doyle voted no. When La Crosse County needed road repair funding, Doyle voted no. When La Crosse County parents wanted more support for schools and input on their kids' education, Doyle voted no. When La Crosse County needed violent criminals locked up, Doyle voted no. Steve Doyle's real record: rising costs, rising crime, abandoning us when we needed him most.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal, come have a taste of Wisconsin.
America's Dairyland.
As in real dairy.
It gives Culver's fresh frozen custard its famous rich and creamy flavor.
Like really rich.
So rich.
Rich and creamy.
And our cook-to-order Butterburgers?
They're topped with, you guessed it, Wisconsin cheese.
But it's the smiles we put on your face
with every meal made just for you.
That really makes our hearts melt.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Nice.
Very mild tonight, lows in the 50s for most. Increasing clouds tomorrow. One more warm day, upper 60s to low 70s. Chance of showers tomorrow night, and then periods of rain likely Friday and Saturday. Cooler temperatures as well.
Windows open.
Thank you, Bill. And shout out Astros. They got that combined no-hitter. First one since 1956 in the World Series.
They tried to jinx them, they still won. Have a good night.